What's up guys, welcome back to another video on the second channel. I know this is probably the third or fourth video on the second channel, so welcome back. If you guys are used to my main channel and you guys found my second channel. But other than that, today is an interesting video. I'm going to be posting a full-length video clip of what I call high-ticket sales and kind of what I'm getting into. So yeah, as of right now, I've been in sales for around like 8-9 months. Actually, like I guess you could say like 9-10 months now. But yeah, this video is just me practicing high ticket sales with some people I found on the internet. Through Instagram, Facebook. Just social media platforms. And I'm just asking them if they want to practice. And today I met a guy. His name is Tommy. Tommy, if you're watching this, what's up, dude? I appreciate you for taking the time to drill with me, but other than that, he was a great guy. He knows what he was talking about. He definitely helped me out a little bit, gave me some clarifications on what I got to work on or whatnot. And yeah, today's just a video that I'm just going to be posting that on, full length, unedited, and hope you guys kind of just go through the video, see what you can pick up from him and me. I know I'm not the best at closing yet at the time of this video, but yeah, other than that, I mean, this video is kind of just for me to kind of review. I'm just posting it out there, but if you guys want to take some notes, feel free and put down in the comments what you guys learned. And other than that, let's get straight into the video. Peace.
Right.
So it's Central Time.
Central. Okay, so it's 10:32 for you right now.
Yep, 10:32.
Okay, cool. Awesome here. Yeah, I mean, I just had another call. I guess another drilling thing with someone else, and then it went smoothly. I mean, he was over there in I think where was he? Portuguese. He said he was in Portuguese, so it was like what, almost like 10 p.m. for him. So the time zones are just kind of a I guess you could say interesting thing.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I know based on the format that you had it set up, this is going to be like a drilling call. I guess when you say that, like, what exactly happens? Like, I know that you're wanting to practice, but I don't know specifically what you're wanting to practice.
Specifically, I think I could definitely do like the discovery. So we could start off with the discovery section and then kind of just transition into like some objection
Okay.
handling. But I feel like I need to work on some objection handling. So you just throw me some interesting objections that
Okay.
you want. I mean, if it's totally up to you. I mean, I could be the prospect unless you want to be a prospect for a day
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
jump on the call and
What are you running into on your calls,
my
like in
call.
terms of
So
objections?
So, the fun fact, I've only taken 5 closing calls. So,
Okay.
objections wise, a lot of think about it. I need to think about it. But I mean,
Okay.
if you really, I mean, understand, it's just a kind of that objection is kind of a way to say no in a polite way, in a polite manner, right?
Hmm.
So, looking to just kind of handle that. But I know I've had a call with with one of my mentors, and he told me that, you know, it's better to handle the discovery way it's better to handle the discovery good enough to where you're not getting objections but you're getting more so of questions at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I
Who is your
yeah.
mentor, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh no, I just asked him on Instagram. He's not even my mentor. He's just like I just like DM'd him.
Okay.
He just kind of sent me a text. But
Gotcha.
it
Okay.
was yeah, his name's like Connor, by the way. Connor. I don't know his last name, but it was like Connor or something.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's typically right. If you're running into objections, that usually means you've missed something in discovery. Um, do you have like a script that you follow, or I guess what exactly do you do for a discovery?
I don't really have a script. I mean, I do, but I don't really read off a script. Let me turn my light on. Okay, yeah. I don't really have a script at all. Well, I don't read my script whenever I'm on a call, right? Because if you're looking at this side and then the prospects right here,
Mhm.
that's not really, just to say, it's not really professional, if you want to say it that way. But
They see it. They see
yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. And typically, the frame that I want to go for is like obviously kind of report in the beginning, just kind of getting to know the clients, and then just framing up the expectations for them. For example, we like to work with these type of clients. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time here. Obviously, I want to see if this is a good fit for you, and just kind of running this meeting as tactical as possible to the point where it's just kind of like it's being smooth, right? They
Hmm.
don't They're not saying, oh, but you said this, you said that. And if they're saying that, if I'm asking, are you 100% committed? And if they say no, then why waste your time with unqualified
Right.
right?
So what exactly are you selling?
It's I don't have a business right now. I'm a closer for someone, and they do real estate. So it's $100 to $250 per qualified appointment. So it's not lead generation, it's appointment setting. So we're getting
Okay, so
these.
you're a setter.
Yeah, not no, I'm not a setter. I'm a closer, but the company itself is setting appointments for them. So yeah, I guess you could say the company is an appointment setter for real estate agents.
Okay, so then what exactly are you hopping on like a Google Meet kind of like this and
Yeah,
talking with people?
yeah,
Okay, and it's
exactly.
about 45 minutes ish.
It could be less. I mean, most of my calls that I usually close are like 30 minutes. I just kind of do the discovery for like 10, 15 minutes. I go really deep into the discovery actually. And then after that, I just kind of go through it's mostly verbal closes. But I mean, if they want to have a more visual understanding of what exactly it is that we do, I'll show my screen. I don't care. I don't mind. Right. And then after I show my screen, they'll probably throw me some objections, and then I just handle it from there, and then you know, just end the call right
Okay.
there.
Have you made any sales with like the method that you're currently using?
Yeah, just two closes out of five.
2 out of 5. Okay. Okay, that's not bad.
What about you? If you
Um,
don't mind me asking, how long have you been closing? What's
yeah,
going on?
I've been closing for about 3 years now.
Oh, wow, okay.
I've done multiple millions of dollars in sales,
Hmm.
and I've sold for a variety of different people. You've probably seen online. Jason Capital, Tanner Chittister was recruited by Acquisition.com.
Oh, wow, okay.
Worked at one of the portfolio companies for them. So been through pretty much not everybody's training, but quite a few people's different styles of sales.
Yeah,
Eli Wild, Jeremy Miner, the ejection box, Cole Gordon and his whole team stuff, Jordan Belfort even.
yeah.
So I've done a lot of different stuff. Um, so currently right now I'm coming back from vacation, so I'm going to be getting on a copywriting offer specifically focused on AI.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to just basically get back into the swing of things because it's been a couple months since I've actually like closed a deal
Okay.
because I've
Oh,
just been I did some consulting for a company in March. That was about a whole month worth of work, and then
yeah.
April I basically just chilled.
Oh,
So
okay. Gotcha.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely here to get better. I mean, what's your terms of like what's your goal on? Oh, you're frozen. Can you hear me?
yeah. My for whatever reason my camera occasionally bugs out. I think I
Oh,
need to get a new one.
no, you're good.
Um,
What was
right
your
now
goal?
my
Yeah, on hopping this
so my
meeting.
goal in terms of like this role play is
Yeah.
to just kind of get back into the swing of things. Basically, just do discovery. Just kind of
Okay.
have a discovery call.
Okay.
Um,
Gotcha.
but I'm also open to helping you as best I can.
Yeah.
Based on what I see, what I hear, kind of see what your flow is, any recommendations I can give.
Okay.
Not a coach, but I have coached people before. So
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. I guess you already know the offer. If you want, you want me to be the prospect, or I mean, you could be a prospect. I mean, it doesn't
let's.
matter.
So I'm a real estate guy,
Okay.
and so just to confirm, so I'm a real estate dude, and then you are trying to pitch me what
Yeah.
exactly?
I'm here to pitch you appointments. So it's not leads. It's 102
Okay.
weeks. Yeah, it's
Okay. So
appointments.
you're like pitching an appointment setting service
Exactly.
for
Yeah.
real estate people.
Exactly.
Cool. All right.
Cool. Do you know anything about real estate at all, or you want me to give you like a little summarization of it?
I have sold real estate investing, but I don't know if it's quite the same thing as like what, because you're talking to realtors usually, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't sold anything related to that. So if you could give me like a quick rundown of like the specifics of how you guys work and what you guys do.
Yeah, so pretty much, we work realtors. There's all types of realtors. I mean, I can't really go into the specifics because there's a lot, but there's FISBOs, absentees, buyers, sellers, and all that.
Hmm.
I'm not too sure if you know what FISBOs and absentees are, but pretty much we could just stick with buyers and sellers. People who
Hmm.
are buying homes. Obviously, it's in the name. People who are looking to buy homes, sellers who are looking to sell their homes. Um,
Hmm.
we usually give appointments to sellers. So I guess you could say you're a seller's agent and you're
Hmm.
looking to get more seller appointments where people are looking to sell their homes. So you're looking for people who are looking to sell their homes. And you need
Okay.
those. Yeah. So we can just start from there. If
Okay.
you can stop me whenever you want if I'm not making any sense on the real estate side. I can just give
Yeah.
clarifications about what I'm kind of saying.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
Cool, awesome. Hey, how's it going, Tommy? Your name's Tommy, right? Not Tony.
No,
Tommy.
it's Tommy. It's Tommy with one M.
Tommy. Okay. Hey, how's it going, Tommy? Thanks for I really appreciate you for jumping on this call here today. I know it's 30 minutes of your time, out your
Mhm.
day. So yeah, looking forward to getting this meeting started.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Looking forward to see what you guys do, and now you can help me when it comes to getting more appointments.
Awesome, awesome to hear. If you don't mind me asking, where are you based out of? I know you mentioned that you had a call with one of the appointment setters. They said that you're in
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm
CS.
based out of California.
Oh, you're in based out of California. Okay, cool. How's it over there? Lovely weather.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Overall, things are fairly warm compared to like somewhere else up north. So, but yeah,
Uh,
I like it. I like the environment,
cool,
everything like that.
cool. Awesome to hear. Yeah, I mean, I want to visit there one day, but I'm just stuck on these meetings with so many people, right? But other than that, I mean, that's awesome to hear, man. Before we get started, though, Tommy, why am I saying Tony? Tommy.
Doesn't matter, bro.
Yeah,
Just roll with it.
before we get started here, Tommy, me personally, I love to keep these meetings as tactical as possible. In
Mhm.
terms of the call, what was your goals jumping on the call here today, so I can kind of push us towards the right direction here?
Yeah, I kind of want to see what you guys do, like how you can help get me more appointments related to being a seller. That's kind of what I'm looking for.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Some more seller appointments, is that correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. So I mean, in terms over the overall, the goal for me, with the call here we're on here today, is just to make sure it runs smoothly, and most importantly, see if it's a good fit for you, right? Also, to clarify any questions that you may have for me. And first of all, have you ever tried anything else so far? I know you probably have tried other implementations, maybe word of mouth, referrals. That way, I can
Hmm.
just kind of see if it makes sense for us to move forward or not, and we'll go from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I've tried a variety of different things. Facebook ads, tried word of mouth, of course. I have some people that can drive for dollars. I've tried cold calling, etc. That's what some of the things I've tried to actually increase the amount of appointments I'm getting.
Okay. And then how did all of that work for you so far? What was the best one that worked for you, and what was like the worst thing that worked for
I'd say the worst would probably be the Facebook ads
you? Okay.
because spending money, but the platform could be kind of complex. And I
Hmm.
don't think I knew exactly what I was doing with it, so I ended up burning some money that didn't see a return. In
Hmm.
terms of best, I'd say it'd be driving for dollars.
Hmm.
Just the problem though with that is that it just takes forever,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be stuck in a car getting yelled at and having guns
Yeah.
pulled on me all the time.
Yeah. So on in terms of driving for dollars, like you mentioned, what was the return on investments for that? I mentioned that the Facebook one wasn't really the meta ads or whatever, the Facebook ads, right? It wasn't the
Hmm.
best. What was the return on investment from that to driving for dollars one?
In terms of what?
Like an ROI. You said that you saw a huge ROI in driving for dollars, and the worst that you've the worst what's it called? The worst implementation that you have or had was the Facebook ads. So what was like the main
Right.
difference?
Yeah, that was just a complete shit show.
Okay. Okay. So what do you think was the main difference between both of that? Why did you see the success in driving for dollars and not really seeing the benefits in the Facebook ads?
Just because I'm very good in person and I know
Okay.
what I'm kind of doing, and I didn't have to pay anything other than gas to drive around.
Uh-huh.
Facebook ads I did have to pay, and because I didn't know what I was doing, it felt
Mhm.
like I was kind of putting money into a wood chipper and then saying
Oh, really?
"Adios amigo." That's basically what it kind of looked like.
Gotcha. So if you do get these appointments rolling in, right? Let's say hypothetically you do get these qualified seller appointments running onto your schedule. Are you more willing to meet up with them in person, or is it more so like Google Meets or Zoom calls like we're on this call, like how we're on this call here today?
I mean,
How do
ideally it'd be where I don't have to go driving everywhere, but
Okay,
if I have to drive somewhere, I will.
okay. So more so like Google Meets and Zoom calls with these qualified appointments.
Yeah, I'd prefer that.
Okay, yeah, because that's exactly what we do, right? Obviously, we want to make sure that these appointments, I mean, whether or not if you have to drive to them or not, right? We want to make sure that they're right on the block from you, and especially in
Mhm.
the world of real estate, we don't want you to be driving 1 hour or 2 hours out there just to meet up with qualified appointments, even if they're qualified, right? I mean, especially gas over there in California is going to be a lot of money just to meet
Yeah,
up with them.
definitely is
So
a pretty penny.
Exactly. So, what's your service though? I mean, in terms of what you're doing exactly right now. I know you mentioned that you've done all these implementations, and are you still working with the drive for dollars method, or are you doing something else? I mean, I'm assuming you're doing word of mouth as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm using every avenue that I possibly can use.
Okay. And is that all by yourself, or do you have a team working under your belt with that?
I have a team, so there's
Okay.
me. I'm the main guy. I've got a couple other people that are underneath me that do some of the other aspects of it. But I'm kind of leading the charge in a way.
Okay. So you're pretty much like the head, and then the people under you are just kind of helping you take that load off your shoulders. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. And what's been out of curiosity, just out of curiosity for me, what's been like the issue, of you scaling further? What did that look for you? Like, what's the main issue that you're looking at that's preventing you from scaling further right now?
Getting consistent qualified appointments.
Okay. So that's what your main incentive is, right? You want to get these qualified appointments rolling as soon as possible, right?
I mean, yeah, ideally.
Okay. So how soon are you looking to get solve this problem? I mean, is it like a month, 2 months, and
I
maybe next
mean,
week?
if it makes sense, I'd like to get it started as soon as possible.
Okay. So ASAP.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, so how many listings are you bringing in right now, though? I mean, I know 2 to 3 listings. Yeah, I'm gonna just cut you off real quick. Um, so usually in the world of real estate, 2 to 3 listings is a lot of listings. That's like,
Hmm.
yeah, it's a lot. I know there's a lot of people I've drilled with. They saying like, oh, I'm getting like 30 to 40 listings per month. Nah, that's just insane, But two to
What
three,
so when they say listings, because I'm not a real estate dude,
yeah, yeah.
what would that turn into in terms of like income?
So income, it really just depends. Let's say let's say I mean, you're working in California. Let's say that, right? An
Yep.
average home in California is going to be in the millions.
Yep.
That's like minimum. It's going to be
Hmm.
millions. So let's say a real estate agent closes for $1 million, right? They get that. It's called a listing. So they get a
Yep.
listing for $1 million. They go to escrow. They close the deal. 50% of that money is going to the homeowner, right? So 50% of the money is going to them. But in terms of the realtor, 50%, I believe 25% is going to the brokerage that they're working for. 15% is going to go to their, I believe, other stuff. I don't know exactly, but other stuff, and then
Yeah.
10%. So 10% of $1 million is $100,000.
Okay, so a listing in California, if it's $1 million, 10%, that's 100 grand in their pocket.
Yeah, 100 grand in their pocket. Around there. I mean, I think it's like 80,000 more so,
Oh,
but I mean,
okay.
it's still a lot. So let's say like 80,000, they close 3 listings of $1 million, right? That's
Hmm.
what, 22,000, 2,400,
Yeah, it's
2,400.
almost a quarter mil.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Okay,
um,
cool.
that's pretty much it. And that's why a lot of realtors are looking to scale from, one listing per month. And it's not like they're getting $1 million listing. It's like $300,000 listings. That's
Yeah,
what,
not every one of them is that like high level
exactly.
ticket item. Okay.
Exactly. Okay. Now that you know that, where was I? Yeah. So
How many
Tommy,
listings?
yeah, you're at one. So like you mentioned, how many listings are you bringing in a month? I mean,
On average, I'd
yeah,
say one.
one list.
Sometimes it's two or three if it's a good month,
Hmm.
but then there's months where it's like, you don't see anything.
Okay, gotcha. So you're getting from 2 to 3. You're getting from one listing, and in some months you're getting 2 to 3 listings per month, right? Now, let's say hypothetically we bring you another extra 2 to 3 listings per month, right? You're jumping from one, right, on average to 4 to 5 listings. Is that something you're committed to taking on more qualified seller appointments?
I mean, yeah, obviously.
Okay. I mean, you have a team. It's you as a head. You're the head of the operations. There's a lot of people that say that they are able to handle it, like more appointments, right? But in realistically, I've had many of these calls before. I've had many of these experiences where people say yes to it, but then there comes operational complexities. If we can help you reach 4 to 5 listings per month and provide you with more qualified seller appointments come your way, whether it's on a Zoom call, Google Meet, or even if you have to meet up with them in person, would this be something that you're willing to move forward with today?
I mean, yeah, if everything makes sense, I don't see why I wouldn't.
Okay. And in terms of your team, is there anyone else that needs to be involved with you making this decision? Like maybe your brokerage, your wife, maybe your dog.
No, no, I'm the one that calls the shots.
Okay, gotcha. And one last thing, how much time do you need at all to to be involved with this? I mean, realistically, if you're getting an extra 2 to 3 seller appointments per month, that's what, an extra 45 minutes per meeting. I don't know how long it takes you per meeting to just talk with these clients, but how long do you have? Like, what's your time frame and being able to handle an extra 2 to 3 listings per month?
Um, you mean how long it takes me to do the appointment, or like?
No, because like I mentioned, you said you're able to take on an extra 2 to 3 listings per month, right? So you're jumping from one on average to at least 4 listings per month.
Mhm.
Do you have enough time to be able to handle those extra 3 listings per month?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's awesome to hear. Tommy, now that I can kind of grasp an understanding of what your goal is, right? And I can understand what it is that you're looking for. I just want to kind of get this out there real quick. Like I mentioned, I love to keep these meetings running smoothly as possible, as tactical as possible as well. I just want to make sure, is this something that you're 100%, 110% committed to? Because I mean, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time here. I've had many meetings like this where people say it's maybe, let me think about it, saying, yeah, I have to think about it, and whether it is that they need to speak with their wife or their dog, like I mentioned. So if we can keep it between both of us, where it's either we leave here on this meet either a yes or a no. And whatever answer you choose, I mean, even if you choose a no, I'm good, I don't want to work with you, that's totally fine. I mean, I'm 100% with you. I can't force you to do anything with this company. I can't force you to make a decision here today, but it's better to be on this call here with either a yes or no than a maybe. Does that sound fair enough?
I mean, it kind of comes down to like what specifically you guys do. Actually, time out. So when they're coming on these calls, like how much do they know about you, the company, and the process?
Usually, I like to handle it like this, and then usually when I say it, when I usually say I like to leave here on either a yes or a no, then they'll be like, yeah, that sounds fair enough, right? And then after that, I'll just kind of say, cool, like I don't have too many other questions. I'm kind of transitioning out of that discovery phase now into the breakdown phase of the company, and I'm just kind of showing you my screen, like a visual
Hmm.
understanding, and stuff like that. Once they know that visual understanding, once they know exactly it is that they what we do, right? And usually they'll get an email, on a
Hmm.
video. They'll usually watch the video. I didn't say it on here on this call here today because I mean I know you didn't watch the video, you didn't even get an email. But I usually say like around like the discovery part, I'd just be like, have you had a chance to look at the videos that we sent you before jumping on
Hmm.
this call here today? That we didn't actually know what it is that this call is about, right? You know,
Okay. So they
so
have
that's
an idea of what's
an
going.
idea. Exactly.
Okay, cool. Because I know sometimes people will be like, "Are you committed?" And it's like, "Bro, I barely know who you are. Like, why are you
Exactly.
trying to like
Yeah.
say I'm
Yeah.
committed?" Is like, I want the appointments,
Yeah.
but like I don't even know what you guys do.
Exactly. And
So
that's why there's a lot of these like what's it called? What a lot of these like closers I see on YouTube, they just kind of like say that, and then I see a lot of like my like other kids just say, "Are you committed?" and they don't even know what they're committed to, because it's just
right,
they cold called them, they sent out an email or I guess like a reminder saying your meeting's at like 10:30 a.m. today here, blah blah blah
yeah.
XYZ. They hop on the call, they don't even know what it's about. You just hop on a cold call with them. It's we're getting you job appointments. Are you committed to getting more job appointments? It's like, what are you talking about, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's anyway. But
yeah,
yo, man,
yeah,
like, assuming you guys can get me the appointments, then there's no like, I'm definitely wanting to scale.
okay, cool, cool. So the main reason why we're on this call here today, here, though, Tommy, is because I'm assuming you have questions, right? I don't know if you do. You can let me know. So option one, we can sit here and just tackle those questions that you may have, or option two, I can just give you a breakdown of a program. Either or, it's totally up to you. What do you want to proceed from here?
Let me see the breakdown.
Okay. I'll just skip the breakdown part. I mean, I'm not trying to like do the whole visual thing.
Yeah.
I gotta pull up my like thing, but other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, we could just go into the objections from now.
Okay. What's the price point?
The price point, yeah. So the price point it's 100 to $250 per qualified appointment, and the reason why I say
Oh,
it,
okay.
yeah, per qualified appointment. So you're not getting leads. We're not a company where we scrape leads from a database and send them over your way. I know there's a lot of companies that do that, and to be honest, I mean, I've done this for a while now. They're just all junk. So we're an appointment setting company. We get you these qualified appointments rolling in on your schedule, and it's anywhere from $100 to $250 per month.
Mhm. Okay. What's like the average conversion for each of those leads that
That's
you send?
that's a great question right there. So it's out of every 5 qualified appointments, one always converts. So that means we have a 22 to 33% retention rate, meaning whenever you get a listing, for example, um, after 4 qualified appointments or even 5, right? One always converts, depending on your skill level. We've had some agents out there that we are working with that have exceptional sales skills. They're able to convert out of 5 listings, maybe 2 or 3 listings out of 5, which is phenomenal.
Hmm. Okay. Got you. Okay, cool. So you want objections?
Yeah, objection. You could just throw
Okay.
me any objection. You could be like, oh, I need to talk to my wife, or I gotta talk to or I gotta maybe think about it, or maybe it's too expensive. Just anything.
Okay. Cool. 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 Yeah, man. This all sounds good. I know that it's Sunday today, so is there a way I can maybe get back to you like tomorrow?
Yeah, no, of course. That's more than I'd be more than happy to what's that called? Regroup with you tomorrow. I know it's a Sunday. I know you maybe gotta go to church. I don't know if you guys do, but if you want, I mean, besides if it wasn't a Sunday, let's say it was a Monday, do you feel like we can get you to XYZ goal, and solve this, solve your problems? Maybe if it was a Monday, let's just hypothetically say it was a Monday here today.
Um, I mean, it all sounds good. Um, I think it could.
Okay, and how's that so?
Well, kind of the way you laid everything out about A, B, and C, where you get the leads, etc.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
Okay,
Um, so that's why I feel like it could.
okay. So when you said that, I know it's a Sunday and you want to kind of take it on for tomorrow and just kind of regroup for tomorrow, that's more so of like you want to kind of think about it, right? You want to have a day to where you want to think about what exactly that you're processing right now, and you
Yeah,
want to
it's
kind of regroup
yeah,
for.
it's part of my normal process.
Okay, then it's more so if you want to think about it. It's not the day or it's not the time, right? You just want to think about what
Well,
is that.
yeah, it's
Okay,
usually whenever I'm making like a decision, I usually take a little bit of time to kind of get some breathing room, step away. Everything still sounds good. It's like, okay,
okay,
don't see any like extra red flags, anything like that.
okay. Well, I totally get it, but that's why we're on this call here today, right? Is to help you scale your business, is to help you get these more qualified seller appointments coming your way. But it makes more sense to you if we can just probably move. I don't know if you want to move forward here today, but it's totally up to you. I know you want to kind of digest what exactly it is that is going on this call here today. If I can make the price more digestible, right? I don't know if it's the pricing or not, but if I can make it more digestible, are you willing to
Hmm.
move forward here today? Whether even if it's a Sunday.
Well, what do you mean by digestible?
Yeah. So like I said, it's $100 to $250 per appointment, right? But we can make it more digestible to the point where it could just be anywhere from 100 to 150, depending on your pricing, right? I'm not sure if you work up in the millions or not. I want to ask, do you work up in the millions, or what's your average price range
See, I would
per?
have asked that in discovery.
Yeah, I know. I would have. That's where I kind of messed up.
Okay, no worries. Um, yeah, so it varies a little bit. Sometimes I get some up into the millions, other times it's around 300,000. It kind of, I don't get too many of the million ones, but those are the ones I want more of. Um, so it is a range, but it's more around the 300 to 500,000.
Okay, gotcha. Now, with all that being said, I mean, I can definitely, make the prices more digestible. I know it's 100 to $250 per qualified appointment, but there are going to be monthly plans where it's going to be anywhere from 2,500 all the way to even up to 5,000. So if I can make a payment plan where we could just cut that out in half for a day, right, on this call here today, where we could go from 2,500 to 1,250, would that be something that you're looking forward to moving with today?
See, now I'm a little bit confused. So when it
Yeah,
comes
I
to
need to
the
work on my objections. I really need to work on my
Well, no,
objections.
no. Well, it's not objections. It's more so clarifying what exactly you're saying. Because I'm like, so I thought it was $200 per appointment, then it was like 100 to 150. Now we're talking about 2,000 to 5,000. I'm like,
Yeah, because it's confusing. I mean, the company that I'm working with, it's like I don't know. It's like they say it's $100 to $250 per appointment, but
mm,
then when they hop on a call, it's like 2,500 and $5,000 for appointment. So it's like I'll give you a quick clarification. So it's like it's 100 and $250 per appointment, right? Let's say you get 10 qualified appointments.
mhm,
10 times 20, 250 is 2,500, right? But if you get let's say if you get 50 qualified appointments, right? Then it's gonna be more cheaper. It's gonna be like $100 per qualified appointment, and
mhm.
that's why this company, it's like weird. I don't want to I don't want to work with them anymore. It's like you say it's 100 and $250 per qualified appointment, but when you hop on the call, now you're saying it's $2,500 for 10 qualified appointments. Like they're kind
Mm.
of like I don't know, like up pricing it. You know, they're kind of like not
If they're
telling
doing it in bulk, like I guess it kind of
you both.
depends on like what their
Yeah,
model is. Is like, hey, like for us, like this is what it'll be per appointment, but we have to be able to do,
in bulk.
yeah, initially in bulk because obviously there's startup costs. There's like getting, I don't know how they get appointments. Is it like Facebook ads that they're using?
I don't know. I think it's just like My Plus leads or something. It's like a website. They get these leads and they have like cold callers and just kind of call them.
Okay, interesting. And so we're doing the cold calling for them to then be able to just
No, no,
have the appointment set.
yeah, they have a cold calling team, I guess, and then they just call these leads that they scrape off the database and then send these appointments over.
Yeah, that sounds honestly that sounds a little sketch. But what I would say, like in terms of the way I would have run this, is like, cool man, bloody bloody, because you do send them videos ahead of time to
Yeah,
kind of understand what the thing's about. Okay, cool. Hey David, pleasure to be able to connect. I know that you were sent over some resources by my associate John. Did you get a chance to take a look at those?
yes, I did.
Okay, were they helpful in any way?
Yeah, they were pretty helpful.
Okay, how are they helpful to you specifically?
It showed me the layout. It showed me the blueprints of exactly what it is that I need to be knowing to head on to this call here today. But
Mm.
I know there's a lot of other meetings that popped on where I didn't really know what exactly it is that
Mm.
they had to offer. So it was really helpful. It gave me a
Okay.
visual understanding of what it is that I'm going into today.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, I'm very, very punctual and to the point, and I know we only have about 30 minutes here today. So if it's okay, is it cool if we kind of just jump straight into things?
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Perfect, man. So typically what I find best is to get a good understanding about what your appointment getting system happens to be. See if there's any gaps in there that we might be able to help. And if we can help, then I can kind of walk you through more of the specifics of how we could help you to scale. If it doesn't make sense, then I'll just tell you I don't want to waste your time because the most important thing to me is speed and then making sure that if we can help you as soon as possible. If not, also tell you, hey, maybe you should try here as soon as possible. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Perfect, man. So I guess for you, in terms of coming into this meeting, I guess what is it I guess what's the biggest reason you're looking to get more appointments right now?
The biggest reason for me is to get more points is because obviously I want to make more money. I mean, that's
Okay.
it. But other than
Okay.
that, I don't know.
Perfect. So when you say more money, like I know that people are based in different places and there's different structures depending on what you sell, but like what exactly does that look like, more money?
More money means investing towards more assets, right? Obviously, investing towards more, processes, systems, maybe even building my
Mhm.
own teams as well.
Okay.
It's just me and my coworker right now, so
Okay.
it's just two of us working together.
Okay. And so then you and your coworker, is this the type of thing where you both are kind of in this together, or like who's kind of leading the charge and making decisions around like how you scale your business?
We're in this together, so I kind of make the decisions mostly, but she's over there, just giving me clarifications and just I guess you could say for approval.
Okay. So is this the type of thing? Because genuinely, I want to make sure that if this makes sense, we can get up and running as soon as possible. Do you feel like this is a type of thing where she needs to be like involved with this, or is this a type of thing that you're able to make a decision on behalf of her?
I could probably make the decision on behalf of her.
Okay. Probably.
But yeah, I'll be able to.
Okay, cool, cool. Because again, if it makes sense, I don't want to have things be wasted time. So when you say more money, like where are you trying to get to in terms of the business, in terms of revenue, or in terms of like how many listings you are doing right now?
In terms of revenue, I want to realistically get to anywhere from like, 50,000 all the way up until like 150,000. So just scaling up $100,000 and then as soon as possible. And then,
Okay.
yeah. And then after that, just honestly, yeah, I mean, honestly, as soon as possible for sure.
Okay. So just to clarify, so you're looking to get an additional $100,000 in revenue. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Give or take, whereabouts are you right now in terms of revenue?
50,000.
50,000? Okay, so you're looking to get to 150,000?
Yes, correct.
Okay, cool. And so then when it comes to getting that 150,000, or I guess the 50,000 you're getting right now, how are you like getting these different appointments, these different like listings? Like, I guess what's your current processes look like right now?
My current processes, honestly, I have, like I mentioned, it's just me and my coworker. So my coworker is cold calling every single
Okay.
day, and then what I'm doing is I'm just taking these calls and just getting these seller appointments to convert. But that's kind of what the
Mm,
process is. We are also running Facebook ads, not going really well for me. Could be
okay.
better, but other than that,
Okay.
I mean, we're looking to do something else or
Okay.
implement more
Okay.
things to our business without
Mm,
adding that operational complexity within our
mhm.
business.
Okay. How long have you been wanting to get to that 150K revenue?
Honestly, it's been like a couple of months now. I mean, we haven't. It's been a really slow month. I mean, from the start of the year till now, it's been 5 months. It's almost this second quarter. It's almost a third quarter actually.
Mm,
We haven't been really seeing the results that we've been getting since 2024. So now I think it's time to make some changes, make some
okay.
implementations towards our
Mm.
business. For sure.
I guess what do you feel is the reason why it hasn't like gone the way you wanted it to?
I just feel like just sticking with the same processes. I mean, at some point, I know there's a lot of people say, it's if it's not broke, don't fix it. But we've been just sticking with the same model, and now it's just not been panning out lately.
Mm,
I don't know why, but we're looking to implement new stuff towards our business that will eventually
mhm.
help us scale to the next level.
Okay. And so, I mean, I guess for you, you're already doing 50 grand a month. I guess what's the, I guess a lot of people I know would be okay and totally fine just kind of cruising at that 50 grand a month level. So I guess I'm curious, what's making you want to push for more when more just usually brings more problems?
Uh, that's a good question. I feel like maybe pushing for more because I know we're able to handle them, and what I mean by handle them is because we are looking to hire more teams, more foundations, more systems into our business
Hmm.
where we are able to scale further than 150,000. But obviously, our goal right now is to hit that mark of
Hmm.
$150,000. Once we hit that goal, then we're able to scale more and further now that we have the
Hmm.
experience under our belt. We only
Hmm.
have the experience of making $50,000, so it's just
Hmm.
me and my coworker. But we are looking to expand the team. We are looking to even start a brokerage pretty soon as well. So that's why,
Okay.
just coming from my side, we know we are able to handle more. That's why
Hmm.
we're shooting for the stars.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay. And so then in terms of like the appointments you're getting right now, how many do you get on like a monthly basis?
On a monthly basis, we're getting anywhere from two listings, not on average. It's a reach. Two listings is a reach, but one listing per month for sure. And it's anywhere
Okay.
from anywhere from like the second week of the month, and then that's about it.
Okay. And so then how many appointments does it take for you to get that listing?
Honestly, usually my business is right now it's just mainly word of mouth. I have other implementations, but it's just mainly word of mouth right now. So it's just coming from word of mouth. So it really depends. I mean,
Okay.
um,
But
yeah,
I
just
guess
really,
I guess what I'm trying to understand is like the number of appointments you get on a monthly basis.
I would say anywhere from like 8 appointments, and that's from just word of mouth. So probably like
Okay.
10 in total, and then just one listing
Okay.
convert,
So 8 appointments, one of those convert. So you're looking at, I
like a
wasn't the best at math,
15%. Yeah, like the
but
15, like around 10 to 15%,
okay.
around there.
Are you satisfied with that?
Not at all.
Okay. Why not?
Because I mean, if you really thought about 10% to 15, 10 to 15%, I mean, I want to at least get like up to 30% or 40%.
Mm, okay. And so do you feel like if you had like the best, like your perfect, I guess you could say, like lead, your perfect prospect, do you feel like if you had more of those people, the conversion would be much better?
100%.
Okay. And so then of the 8 appointments that you get right now that are like that perfect person for you, how many of those 8 are actually that ideal person?
Just one. Just one of them. I
One.
mean, I feel like, yeah, just one. I mean, most of these appointments are pretty unqualified, so I kind of waste my
Mm,
time. So that's why I'm hopping on this call here today.
mm,
I want more qualified appointments.
okay. Got you. So that makes a lot of sense from like the business perspective. One of the other things that myself and our team is very big on is understanding like the actual entrepreneur, like understanding the deeper, I guess you could say, motivation or even significance of why people push. Because I know that everybody's unique. And when things get challenging or we have to like pivot or make adjustments, what do you think the best like entrepreneurs end up doing?
Making adjustments for sure.
Right. But like, what, I guess, why would they even make adjustments? What do you think that is?
Because if nothing works out, then they have to make adjustments to be able to handle or to be able to pivot to a different direction that might work.
Right. Well, I guess what I'm saying is that like when it comes to having to make those adjustments, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I have to change. I'm just going to fold because it's not that big of a deal. Whereas understanding the deeper reasons behind scaling and why it's important to have a successful business gives you the energy and the resilience, I guess you could say, to keep pushing on. So aside from like the actual business itself, like I guess what do you feel is your reason for actually like taking this business to like the next level?
Well, I want to provide for not just me, but my family as well. So that's kind of
Mm,
why I'm, starting all of this, right?
mm,
And then kind of want to push forward as well with the processes that I'm
mhm.
looking to implement.
Okay. Well, oh, damn it, my freaking thing froze.
There you go.
But do you feel like with what you have right now in terms of the 50K, can't you already provide for them? At least the way that you like, because I think
I
most people would think that they are able.
I am able to, but I want to make sure that there's no other, hindering line factors from like I know 50K is a lot of money, but I mean if you really thought about it, it's not really that much money, right?
Mm,
And I'm making 50,000 like annually as a realtor, like around
mm,
there. Like it's more sort of like 80,000 annually, so it's like I want to be able to make more to the point where I'm able to satisfy not just myself, my family, but other aspects as well in my life.
mm. How long have you not been able to satisfy those aspects the way that you feel you should?
Whenever the first time I started,
Okay, what was that?
this was like around well, I started my real estate journey like around 3 years ago, so about 3 years now.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I guess when it comes to like giving your family and satisfying their needs the way that you feel you should, I guess why do you feel like it hasn't happened yet? Like to the way that you feel like it needs to be?
I feel like just my skill sets and my experience, my lack of
Mm,
experience as well. I know there's a lot of agents out there that have been in the field for 40 years, 34 years, 20 years.
mhm.
So just a lack of experience and skill sets for sure.
Okay. And so when it comes to those like skill sets and experience, like I guess what do you feel is the reason why you haven't been able to get that experience and get those skill sets up to the level they need to be?
I never really thought about that to be honest.
Well, I mean, if you did think about it, like what would it be?
Uh, Maybe just working harder to be honest. I don't know.
Working harder.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been kind of lacking a little bit sometimes as well.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. I guess when it comes to that lacking, like how does that like show up for you, or where do you see yourself actually not maybe pushing as hard as you probably should?
It's just it gets tiring sometimes when I'm on these meetings, right?
Hmm.
And these appointments and these qualified prospects are. I mean, these prospects are just like not. qualifying. I mean, I'm just wasting my time where I can just
Mm,
actually be going out there and just getting more appointments by myself, whether it's like door knocking or just like flyers or even
hmm
maybe other methods of ad generations or
hmm
lead generation. So
hmm
it's just kind of been a little, I guess you could say a little not difficult, but annoying
hmm
sometimes.
Right. Well, I guess when it comes to entrepreneurship, like, don't you feel that that's part of the reason why you're able to make as much money as you're able to? Is like you have a challenge, a frustration, but you're able to overcome?
Yeah,
Okay. So then why do you feel like when it comes to this specific scenario, like you haven't like put in the level of effort to actually like make it work?
just maybe trying to find different ways, to be honest.
Mm,
Yeah, I
okay.
need to find different ways for sure.
Right. So then when it comes to actually doing this and actually being able to scale up, because there's like the 50 to 150,000, which is kind of what we're talking about. But I imagine after you hit that level, you're going to want to keep scaling. Is that fair
Correct,
to say?
correct.
So in order for you to be the type of person that's able to not just get to that 150,000, but actually go much further than that, what do you feel you have to be able to do internally differently so that you actually are able to not just consistently perform at the level you need to, but actually be able to push so much further than that?
Changing my perspectives, for sure, 100%. Changing just whether it is that I'm getting annoyed from these prospects,
Hmm
15 minutes, they're not turning out to be the way I want it to be. Just kind of
hmm
pushing forward and just moving, just kind of like bulldozing in and just kind of sticking with it would probably be
Right.
the
And so then when it comes to those negative ways of viewing things, like what can we instead replace that with to actually empower us to be able to get to that 150K a month?
uh just being resilient, having that resilience in me, and then just sticking
Mhm.
with it all the way to
Right.
the end.
But then, I mean, of course, that's kind of part of the entrepreneurship game is having that
Yeah.
resilience. But like in terms of like action steps when you feel like, oh shit, I don't really want to do this thing. Like, what are you going to do differently in that moment to actually give yourself the opportunity to keep pushing on?
Oh, I need to stay consistent for sure.
Okay. And when you say consistent, what like would you actually do when you feel like not doing things?
Just like I said, just staying consistent. Like, I mean, I don't know how to really answer that question. Like, just sticking with the processes, whenever I'm having days where I don't want to do anything, just sticking with it, just moving
Hmm
forward with it. And yeah, I know I just if I do that, then I know it'll help me like
Okay.
set up myself for success in the future for sure.
Okay. And when you say sticking with it and moving forward, you're referring to action. Is that right?
Action, yeah, consistent action, yeah, correct.
Okay. Got you. So when it comes to this being able to put you in that position to actually be able to take care of your family the way you want, like what happens if we allow like the inconsistent action to keep popping up? If we don't put a lid on it, we don't actually get a handle on it. Like what does that look like over the next, let's say, 3 years? If we consistently allow this to keep like putting a bottleneck and cap on what we're able to do.
Uh, then if I don't stick to my actions, and if I'm not consistent, I'll probably just be in the same position I am in right now. But if I do, then I know I can for sure because I know myself and I know my
Mhm.
coworker as well.
Right.
I know we can definitely get to that
So
150.
I guess if we were to go, if you did allow that to end up continuing to keep you stuck like it has the past 3 years, and we fast forward to 2028, like how would you feel still being at $50,000 if you had and knowing you had the opportunity to not to change that?
Not good at all. Because I
Not good at
mean,
all.
because I would be in the same position that I'm in, and nobody wants to be in the same position that they're in. 5 years, 10 years down the line, right? I mean, it just feels like you haven't made progress at all with your life. So that's
But
why.
what's wrong with that though? Because you're already providing for people the way at a decent level.
That's just me. That's just my personality, right? I mean, it might be different for others, but that's just me for my personality.
Hmm And so when it comes to actually making that shift and those changes, like do you feel like you're genuinely ready to stop like selling yourself short? and actually like
100%.
giving it your all and taking action the way that like you really know you should be doing.
Yes, 100%.
Okay. Because honestly, David, when it comes to what I see for people coming in who actually have the appointments and that are able to scale up their listings, it's typically not the, oh, well, how many listings do I get? It really comes down to that internal piece of like, am I willing to do what it takes to actually be successful, no matter how I feel, and implement the actions anyway?
Cool.
Now, as long as you are willing to live that, to actually be that, not just for me, but like moving forward. Like I haven't seen someone with that trait that hasn't been successful and that hasn't scaled.
Okay.
So do you feel like you're willing to like take on that way of looking at things and acting to actually
Yeah,
like keep the scaling happening?
exactly.
Okay.
100%.
So then in that case, man, I do feel like what we have here makes a ton of sense for you. There's a couple ways we can do it. One is I can answer the questions you might happen to have. The others I could kind of go through the actual process that I have laid out that kind of streamlines
Okay.
things, kind of covers us, our background, how the systems work.
Okay.
But you tell me, what do you feel like would make the most sense here?
Probably the process for sure. Wait, so that was like literally the whole discovery call.
Yep,
Okay. Okay. That was long. That was like
that's
30
how I
minutes?
do it. Because now, guess
Okay.
what? You come at me with a think about it. It's like, what the hell? You've been thinking about this the past 3 years. And
Okay.
I ethically can't allow you to leave here because you'll just do what you've done before and you've committed to being a different version of yourself and doing things differently. So,
Yeah.
yes, it is a
Long.
little bit different than how you do it,
Hmm.
but mine is a lot more like, what did I get? I got, okay, so
You're
you
getting
make
the
50.
full.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like there's no logical reason why you would ever go away unless there's something internally that's effed up. And then I already got hooks in you for that. So I got your family, I've got the fact that you're not pushing as hard as you need to. And then we put inconsistency. And then I got, well, what are you going to do differently? It's like, well, if I'm inconsistent, I'm going to take action. So at the end, if you're like, well, I'm going to think about it, it's like, well, after this conversation we've had, you not taking action the way you needed to the past 3 years, do you feel like it makes sense for you to keep doing the things that have not gotten what you want? And then I also a couple times tied down on, well, what's wrong with what you have now? Like you're making 50 grand. Why not settle for that? And you're like, well, that's not who I am. That's not what I do. So now if you start giving me that shit after the objection handling, or not after I drop the price, then what's going to happen is I'm going to be like, it's incongruent. So one, you're not going to say it. Or two, if you do say it, I'm going to say that's bullshit because 30 minutes ago you're like this. What's changed? Oh, the price is on the table. So it's not that you're not willing to settle, it's the price. So does it take a little bit more time? Yeah. But based on what I've seen from people and from my calls from people much better than myself, it gives you just so much leverage. And that's how you can consistently get like 60, 70% closing rates. Is like
Yeah.
getting these, like, because logically, if you're going from 50,000 to 100,000,
Yeah.
even if I'm selling for 10K, the logic is there. So logically, if I sell you 150,000, you're making 100 grand. I'm asking for 10K. That's a no brainer. So then the only reasons why you would ever not want to do that is a couple of things. One is if you don't actually believe that it's going to work. But based on what I've got data wise and based on the pitch, I'm fairly confident that I would be able to. Because
Hmm.
if you're getting one good appointment out of 8 and you're getting one listing a month on average, if I just take that one appointment and instead of giving you one of them, I give you 8 of those, nothing else changes. You don't have any more time into it. And I just get you 8 of those. What do you feel is going to make sense? Well, you'll probably close more. You'll probably close maybe 4 or 5 of those, which then takes you from 50,000 and we multiply that by 4 to 200 grand. Oh, okay. So logically, I can walk it through, so it's no brainer. But then emotionally, I have leverage in case there's something up here that keeps you stuck to get you out of your way.
Okay. Cool.
So that's the way I would do it. I don't know if they would always answer, and I need to sharpen up a little bit, which is one of the reasons why I'm jumping on these role plays,
Yeah.
to just understand, like, okay, how could I have taken it? I'm actually going to review this to see how could I make it done a little bit more
Yeah.
efficiently.
I will too. Yeah.
But
Any like
yeah,
advice at all? I know you've been in it for 3 years. You have much more experience than I am. I mean, I'm just starting out, so
Yeah.
Any like advice at all? I mean, I'm recording this as well on my
Yeah,
faculty,
yeah.
so
Well, what is like your goal? Like, what do you actually want to do out of like closing, selling? Like, what is that for you, David?
me. So personally, I've always wanted to. I've gone into sales, I believe, like a year ago as an
Hmm.
appointment setter. So I'm really good on the calls. I know how to handle calls, definitely for sure. But the main reason why I'm jumping on these calls is to get better at, whether it is high ticket closing or just talking to people. It gives me a better understanding of, just understanding people's perspectives and understanding their, I guess you could say their goals, right?
Hmm.
So that's why I'm starting all this. That's why I want to start, jumping on these calls, whether it is drilling or whether it is talking with clients or prospects. Just want to help them out. That's what my main goal is. I know there's a lot of people that just they're in it for the money. Um, for me, I feel like just upskilling myself. I mean, I've always been like, I guess you could say really, I forgot the word, really heavily on just improving myself. So
Hmm.
I want to learn a new skill. This is a new skill. I mean, appointment setting and closing are really, really different, but I know appointment settings, kind of like that first step into sales where, you have an understanding of what is that sales is. So
Hmm.
that's kind of
Okay.
why I'm trying all this.
So if you just learned closing but didn't make any more money, is that something you'd be cool with? Would you be happy with?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a skill. I know, I mean, that's not realistic, but I know, like, if with skills, you can make money. Like, because it's the same thing. Like, like cutting hair. Like when you're a barber, that's a skill. Barbers don't go out of business because they have skills, right? I mean, if you're really good at cutting hair, people are going to come to you, right? And even
Hmm.
if, let's say hypothetically, even if you're the best closer in the world and you're not making any money, that's not realistic, right? But I mean, I'm not in it for the money, like I said. I'm in it for more so like improving myself. But I mean, I know money will come and go as I get better. So I mean, I'm not really worried about that right now.
Hmm. Okay. So then what's like your goal over the next like 3, 6, 12 months?
Definitely, definitely to get better for sure. I mean, I've started sales, I believe August as an appointment setter, and I feel like I've gone really good over the phone calls. I was like the top producer, the top performer. So, I know a month. I mean, not a month. I mean, I know a year can change someone a lot. But just sticking to it, like I said, just being consistent with what I do into learning this new avenue of my, having more skill sets is like what I strive to do in the next 12 months.
Okay. So then you see yourself just forever being like an appointment setter and a closer?
No, not at all. I'm looking to start my own business. I mean, I already started my own business, but I didn't have any skills at all.
Mm.
Like I didn't even have any sales skills. So, and I
Hmm.
blew all my money on a car. So,
Oof.
starting back up from phase one, I'm working on a job right now, trying to save up some starting capital.
Okay.
I know people are saying you gotta save up 10K, you gotta save up 20K to start a business. That's not true. I mean, I started off with like 5K my first business, and I know. I mean, I guess the reason why people say to save up 10K is because oh, you gotta throw in 5K for your business. You gotta throw in 5K for a course to learn that skill. But I mean, all you realistically need. Well, I mean, I started off with like 5K, so I mean,
Mm.
realistically, like maybe even 3 or 4K is good enough.
Hmm. Right. Well, it depends on what you do and
Exactly.
like what you're specifically looking to accomplish. Because that's one of the reasons why I got into sales is like watched a ton of Alex Hormozy, and one of the things he always said was like skills pay the bills. And he's like, if you had to do something, get good at sales. I was like, well, shit, okay.
Yeah.
So that's what got me into this world is just trusting him and being like,
100%.
okay, I'll do it, and I will put in the work and then study and practice, etc. Um, but cool, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate you hopping on here on a Sunday of all days too.
100%.
If you, I don't know if you're on Facebook at all, but if you want, you can like friend me on Facebook, and I'll friend you
Uh-huh.
back. We can kind of
Yeah.
like chat back and forth. And if you need any help with stuff, I can't promise I can, but I'll do my best to try to help.
You don't
Um,
have any other socials at all? Like maybe I mean I am on Facebook, but I mean I'm on
yeah,
Instagram.
well, I'm on Instagram too, but I know based on the people I know, most of like the remote closing salespeople are on Facebook. I don't know why. I never used to use Facebook like 4 years ago
Really? Okay.
until I ended up running across like the high ticket space, which now everybody for whatever reason uses Facebook. But you can
Yeah.
follow me on Instagram too. Like
Okay.
I have,
Yeah.
it's just TUMY talent. Like that's my handle.
Cool.
And then if you want to do another role play sometime, we can do that too.
Yeah. You have my Calendly, right? I mean, you could just book
Yep,
on another call. Okay.
100%.
Cool. Awesome, Arden. I know. Oh, well, meeting's about to end in 2 minutes, but other than that, I mean, I don't have anything else on my part. I'm gonna definitely review these calls for sure, or this call, and then yeah. I mean, I'll ask I'll ask any questions I might have for you.
100%, man. Yeah, if you need anything, you just let me know. And then I don't know if you're looking for a new position, but on my YouTube, I've got a couple of good videos I've made around getting a new offer if you're either a setter or wanting to be a closer. In fact, I had someone like 2 days ago
Yeah.
say it helped him get the first position, and now he's making around like 9 grand a month.
Oh,
So if you want to take a look at that, socials are exactly the same. But yeah,
cool.
you just reach out, let me know if you need anything, and I can do my best to help.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thank you, Tom.
All right. Take care, man.